Well, I'm out here at the Crown Vic today. I figure I'll bring it in the garage and see if I can't figure out why it takes so long to start. I get a lot of people asking why I turn the key all the time instead of just letting it crank. Well, usually well, not usually, but sometimes if a car doesn't start, fuel injected car, it's sometimes a fuel pressure issue. So if you turn the key, it primes the fuel system and builds up pressure and gets gas up there so it'll start easier, rather than sitting there cranking it for 5 minutes straight and ruining your starter and draining your battery. So that's why I turn the key on for 2 seconds rather than just cranking it. I don't think this has a fuel pressure problem, because the other day I put a gauge on it, on the fuel thing, and I got pressure pretty much right away. Gas was squirting out, so I don't think that's my issue on this car. I never did diagnose it. I just kind of guessed at what the problem was and kept turning the key. So now I'm going to go through it and try to figure out what's wrong. Could be the IX not working right, or it's sticking in there, or it could be something with the EGR, or could be any number of things, but I'm going to take a look at it today and see if I can't figure it out. Alright, let's see if we can start this pig. See, if I just sit here and crank it, it doesn't even want to fire. But if I do this a few times, it wants to try to start at least, so that's how I'm going to try to start it right now. There it goes, start it up. I'm sick of cranking it though, so I'm going to try to fix it. Well, I've been out here all of like 2 minutes and I already found a problem. I don't know if it's a problem that's causing it not to start, but it's a problem. The EGR connects there like that, and I pulled on this hose very gently, and it came right out of that sheath right there, which goes over to here, and as you can see, that's where that green hose is supposed to go, but it's broken. Looks like it got cut right off or something, so that could be at least part of my problem, so I'm going to fix that and see if it helps. Well, I fixed that little green vacuum line that runs the EGR, so we're going to try to fire it up, see if that helped at all. Car's been sitting for about 20 minutes, so if it's going to act up, it'll probably do it. Yeah, I don't think that helped too much. Oh well, we'll have to try again. Still runs alright. Well, I cleaned out the EGR valve. It wasn't very dirty, and that didn't help. I fixed that line, that didn't help. The IX seems to be working okay. So now we got a fuel pressure gauge on it. I'm going to try to show you what it does. If I can get a good angle on the camera here. Show you what it does when I turn the key on. Now it gets pressure right away, but as you can see, it's slowly dropping, and it kind of drops pretty fast. It should be able to hold pressure for longer than this. It'll eventually go to zero, but it'll take a minute or so, so I'm probably not going to let you sit there and watch that. But that means I'm losing fuel pressure somewhere. There's only a few places it can go. It can run out on the ground, which it's not doing because I haven't seen any gas anywhere. I haven't smelled any. It can run down back to the tank, which is probably what it's doing. I'm not 100% sure, but could be. Or it could be going through a leaky injector into the engine. The way you would diagnose that is you'd pinch off the return line and see if it holds pressure. See, it's still dropping there. But on this car, the return line is a plastic one like this. And you don't really want to pinch those off. It's not the best for them because you'll kink them and break them and fuck them all up. It's really not good for the line, so I'm not going to pinch off. And it's under the car, so I'm not going to pinch it off. The feed line's got what looks like a rubber hose, but it's way the hell down there. I'm not going to pinch that off. And I can't just swap out a fuel pressure regulator because it's tucked way back there. It's this thing right here. And unfortunately it screws in from the bottom with, I believe, Allen wrenches, if I remember right. So it's not the easiest thing to get in and out, so I'm not going to bother with that. I think I'm just going to have to live with it for the way it is, since I can't diagnose where the fuel is going. But see, as you can see, it's already dropped to pretty much nothing. So that's my problem. At the very least, it's part of my problem. I don't think I'm going to fix it. Now, if you suspect your fuel pressure regulator is going bad, an easy way to test it is to just pull off this vacuum line. And if you see a bunch of gas in the line or comes out when you take it off, that's a sure sign that your fuel pressure regulator is leaking, the diaphragm inside. But this one's not, so it doesn't mean it's still good, but whatever. And if you have that problem and you see gas come out, you'll have usually have a rich condition when it's running, if it's leaking real bad. Just another little tidbit. Alright, let's get this piece of shit out of here. See the little smoky back there? Whew! Stinks. Oh well, that's what this car gets if it don't want to run right. Oh well, I'll just have to live with cranking it forever. Some of you guys like that anyway. Ew, it's still smoky. I gotta quit doing that. I'm gonna have most of my my rubber here in the garage. Smoky as hell too. Well, I got a request to do a walk around of this car just before I uploaded this video, so I'm going to tack it on at the end and make it quick because I don't have much time on the video, but that's alright. This here, when I bought the car, this was all smashed out and gone, so I bought a replacement one, put that in. It's got a few dents here in the side where it got smashed, but that's alright. The tires in the back are bald. As you know, it doesn't start very good. What else? These things are a little bit loose, but it's not really that big of a deal. And inside the car, we've got cracks all over the dash because this car originally came from Texas. Interior is sun faded pretty good. Yeah, it's not that bad, but it's faded. And door panel's a little messed up, but I bought this car for $100. There is no rust on it other than the back corner there where it got dented. So it's not that bad of a car. Transmission doesn't want to go into overdrive, or I think third gear too is out. I'm not quite sure. I don't drive it much, but it's not in too bad a shape for being an 88. So there is the Crown Vic, the $100 car. If it wasn't so clean and not rusty, I'd probably destroy it. But I can't do that. It's just too nice.